Hey guys, this is Eckhart's Ladder. Hello and welcome to another video. So I've been rewatching Star Wars Rebels for the umpteenth time. It's sort of just a cozy way that I wind down sometimes, play a little on my Steam Deck, drink a glass of whiskey, put some Rebels or something else on. But of course, it's also great preparation for Ahsoka, or at least it better be, or I will be mad at Dave Filoni. Anyway, one thing that I've noticed time and time again is that Hera's not that cool actually, and in fact, some of her plans are downright ass. I want to first go to Season 2, Episode 7. The Noble Phoenix Squadron rebels are trying to help the citizens of Ibar who are suffering under Imperial sanctions. Specifically, the rebels need to deliver food as well as generators. The only problem is there is, of course, an Imperial blockade, and not really a small one, especially compared to the rebel fleet. The Empire has 3 Architans-class command cruisers and 2 Gazanti transports. Additionally, the transports are rounding out the fleet with carried TIE fighters. The rebels are attacking this formation with 1 CR-90, about a half squadron of A-Wings, and the Ghost. And I say attacking, but that's not really what they were attempting to do. They were trying to literally run the blockade. You'd think that a rebel blockade runner could perhaps do that job, but the amount of firepower that they're facing off against here is significant. An Architens has 4 double turbo lasers, and these things are outputting a lot of power. This is a completely different grade of weapon than what you'd see on the blockade runner. Additionally, the A-Wings are being completely neutralized by the Imperial TIE fighters. I've mentioned this quote many times, but the Thrawn trilogy tells us that very fast ships like A-Wings are misused in escort formation. Because they sacrifice armor and shielding for speed, any situation where they have to go slower or in a predictable way in order to protect or escort a ship is just really setting it up for failure by emphasizing its weak points and not allowing it to use its strong points. The rebels seemingly weren't surprised by the blockade, which was well situated, by the way. The Empire is right next to the hyperspace exit point, and for the blockade runner to get through, it would have to pass through an absolute maw of Imperial ships. Like, this plan had 0 chance to succeed. Hera seems surprised that she didn't even get close to winning. She wasn't even in the deadliest part of the Architens' firing arcs. In total, the rebel fleet would lose 1 CR-90, all the supplies it was carrying, plus the A-Wing, which was being piloted by Phoenix Leader. This is a significant loss, and the rebels accomplished literally nothing. It reminds me of the Republic's poor first attempt to break the Ryloth blockade, and I'm guessing maybe Hera was looking up in the skies when that happened and used it as an inspiration for her strategy. The rebels here acted predictably. Callus knew that starving these people out would get their attention. They took the bait and they paid for it. But even otherwise, I don't know how you find success here. If you want to get through a blockade, you're either going to take down a portion of the net and hope that it can't be reinforced, or really break through with pure speed. But when a blockade is as tight and as overwhelmingly powerful as this one compared to your forces, it's not going to happen. What the rebels need to do was what they did in the end: focus on one of those Architens, take it out, then use the speed of the blockade runner. But they just had A-Wings in the VCX. Neither those interceptors or the Ghosts have anywhere near enough firepower to take down a shielded, battle-ready Architens. They needed like at least a half squadron of Y-Wings, and for the fighters to go in before the Corvette, I think ideally what you do is you pick one side, whichever side looks weaker, either is too far offset, and just start gunning it in that direction. Most likely won't be able to go around the blockade, it'll move into interception point, but you pick one of those edges, and quite simply, you try to break it and go through, then just gun it to the planet's surface. The Architens are going to have a tough time turning it around. If you can get through at that point, you can probably deliver the supplies, and that is what we sort of see happen at the end of the episode when the special prototype B-Wing with the heavy beam weapon comes in and just murks one of the command cruisers. The other one of Hera's missions I want to talk about, and there are many in the show of course, but I wanted to choose one of a similar theme, is when Hera tries to break Thrawn's blockade at Lothal. To set the stakes, there are several members of Phoenix Squadron on the ground, including Ezra. The rebels are trying to get reinforcements through the blockade, This time, however, they don't have any clunky corvettes, simply the pilots and their X-Wings, which they need to get through. However, Thrawn has a much bigger fleet this time, including several Star Destroyers, Architens, Gazantes, and Hera basically takes the exact same situation. Her ships simply try to blast through the blockade, which I will admit is probably a better idea when you're talking simply about snub fighters, especially against Imperial Star Destroyers, which are, well, notoriously bad at taking out fighters. However, Hera immediately runs into a hiccup. Thrawn has prepared for this, and he sends out not only snub fighters, but new advanced TIE defenders. Hera is only partially successful here, and that is simply due to blind luck and skill, which I don't think is something you want to rely on. She's able to take out one TIE defender, and that basically sets off a hilarious and somewhat ridiculous sequence of events where an entire portion of the fleet is destroyed. But even still, we see a lack of planning from Hera, as although they've neutralized ground cannons, Thrawn has more fighters waiting in reserve, and pretty much the entire invasion force is taken out. Hera survives, although her ship does go down. I think Hera is a great manager of people. I think she does a good job of walking the line between motherly when needed and harsh when also needed, but she often displays serious issues when it comes to tactics and strategy. Now, part of this is obviously because Star Wars Rebels is a kids show, and in novels like Alphabet Squadron, she seems to be a fine enough leader, again with those strengths of managing people, but I'm curious to see tactically how she faces off against Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is certainly her better when it comes at least to naval warfare. But maybe I'm missing something big from Star Wars Rebels, a specific battle that she succeeded in. Let me know what you think. Before we leave, however, I will just answer a hashtag AskEck question. This one comes from Sam, and it's nice and close in topic to today's video. He says, I just started listening to Heir to the Empire to prep for the Ahsoka show. Now I have to wonder, do you think we will hear mention or see Jorah Sabaoth during the show? Is it possible he is training the 2 new Dark Jedi in the trailer? No, I don't think so. I think there's going to be enough Force wielders. There seems to be that Inquisitor individual, these 2 dark side Jedi of whatever sort. I don't think they'll add another one with Sabaoth in. Plus, of course, whatever's going on with Ezra, I don't think he'll fall to the dark side. But no, I don't think they're going to go with the cloned Dark Jedi. I don't think they'll go with the original Jorah Sabaoth either. I think part of the most interesting aspect of Sabaoth is how Thrawn finds him and sort of twists him to his will, and that's not really as compelling if he's already there as a part of Thrawn's command. Maybe he will find him. There could be a visit to Wayland, but I don't think so. But that's all for today. Until next time, guys, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.